Okay. So I do feel like there will be some clearing up of the energy, clearing up of blockages, being able to figure out in your mind's eye to will something into existence, to remove blockages for yourself so that there is a clear path ahead of you so that you can, drive that car into that tunnel. Okay. So I do sense like there has been something that, that was like an obstacle in the way in which you move. Okay. It's so for many of you, for example, it's like wanting to change location, but you might have a house, a property that's under your name, and you're not really sure what to do. You're not sure if you want to rent it out, and you're not sure if you want to sell it. And so I feel like you're getting some information about whether or not to relinquish the property altogether. And I feel like you're going to be selling it. Okay. And then I also feel for others of you, it's almost like you might have a lease and you're bound to that, contractually you're bound to that lease, and you have a really good job and you're just like, how do I break out of this lease? I feel like there's going to be some clarity or some communication or some conversation coming into the picture to allow you a path to move forward. And you're trying to figure out, if I have a conversation with the landlord, you're trying to figure out, like, what do I say? How do I, present my case? And I feel like a lot of it, once again, your mental clarity is very, very important. So come into that meeting, come into that conversation with the intention in mind that the other person is going to let you, help you release yourself from this contract. And as long as you're able to do that, I feel like you're going to have a very good outcome at the end of that meeting or that conversation. Okay. So your mind is very powerful. Use it to steer things and manipulate the energy to get it to do exactly what you want and to get the outcome that you want. Okay. It's manipulating the energy. It's not about, deceiving people or manipulating people. We're talking about, trying to use our head to basically steer the direction of the energy towards the outcome that we want. Okay, so it's just manipulating the energy, but it's not in a negative way in any capacity. So if you find yourself kind of like wanting a specific outcome and you're just like, I don't know how I'm going to be able to get it. I don't know if so-and-so is going to let me do that. I don't know if so-and-so is going to let me release me from this. Come into that conversation as if you have already gotten the outcome that you want. Focus on the outcome that you want. And I feel like things will magically, I feel that it will really clear up for you. For some of you, I feel like, there is a serious job negotiation here or a salary negotiation. I feel that you've been at a place for some time and you're scanning the horizon. You're kind of looking around to see what else is available for you. And I feel like you have another job or another company that potentially wants you to work for them. And so you have leverage. You have the power to use that as leverage with your current company so that you can ask for a pay increase. And you're just like, well, if they don't give me a pay increase, I'm just going to go over here. And so use that to your advantage. Leverage based on the information that you have. And I feel that you're going to be able to, get that financial uptick that you're looking for. Okay. We have as well the Six of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles usually indicates to me a huge financial windfall. It is also a card about really good karma coming back home to roost. So whatever good deeds you have done for other people, whatever good things you have done, in your own life, in your own environment, I feel like all of these things are coming back home in order to help propel you in a direction that is meant for you, that is universally guided for you, and that is better for your higher being. So for your greater good. So I do feel like if you have been waiting for, even like a financial windfall, even a pay increase, even nervous about negotiating for an increase, I do feel you have a lot of finances coming in. So financial news is looking really good. There are alternate sources of income that you're kind of dipping into. For many of you, you might have a main job that's coming into the picture, and you might have a side gig that's bringing you a lot of money. Okay. And when it comes to side gigs, like creative ventures and things like that, there are many, many different routes that you can take. We have here Six of Pentacles. Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups is historically about choices and options, all the possibilities that are laid out in front of us. And we get to choose, we get to pick which one is most appealing to us, okay? So in this depiction, it doesn't seem to me like anything is fatalistic. I feel like you have your eyes wide open. And then I also feel like, you know, through this turbulent past 4 years, you know what works for you and you know what doesn't. You know yourself well enough to know which options would be more viable and which option would be the most stable for you. So you're not looking at this in a, it's like through, you know, rose-colored glasses. You're looking at this through a very, very optimistic lens. And I feel for many of you, there are so many options that you can choose from. I'm feeling though that if you must make a decision, okay, try to wait until after the 15th or so, when we are completely out of that Mercury retrograde shadow period completely, okay? And so by that time, I feel like mid-month, something is going to come into the picture to give you a lot more insight and to give you the full picture. So wait for the Mercury retrograde period. The Mercury retrograde period, it started on February 18th, and I believe it's only for 3 months. So I believe it would have been out by March 11th. But there is a shadow period when the planet is still, you know, heavily affecting. So even if we're out of the retrograde period, there's like a lull before the planet can be up and running again. So I feel like it would be best for you to wait until the 15th. It's a good time during Mercury retrograde to really mull over things because we have a lot of insights. But then when it's time, you know, like when the rubber hits the road or when it's really time to implement your plans and make things, take things to the next level or take action on the things that we have been mulling over, it is best to wait after that shadow period. And I would say like the 15th is when you're in the clear in order to execute these decisions. Okay. So I feel like there will be a little bit of stop and go, but then towards the end of the month, it's all systems go for you. And you have a lot of good things that, a lot of projects, a lot of ideas, a lot of opportunities coming in that are yours for the taking. So I feel like you have an abundance in that regard. I do feel there is a little bit of a blast from the past here, and I want to talk about this, okay? So we have here the Six of Cups and the Lovers. Both of these are relationship-oriented cards, okay? The Six of Cups is a very strong soulmate connection that we have with another person. This usually denotes somebody that you have known for a very long time. And even if you haven't known them for a really long time, this indicates like a soulmate connection where you have, you know, you have met each other before. You have shared many, many lifetimes before in the past. And so in this lifetime, when you meet them, their energy feels very familiar. The way they look, the way they act, everything about them just makes you feel very comfortable and very familiar. And it makes you feel at ease. It's like you really know this person. You know this person inside and out. You know what their limits are. You know what their capabilities are. And you know what they're capable of. And you know what type of a person they are. And so I feel like there's somebody in your life that is making a return in your life. And you know this person, you've been longing for this person, you possibly have been missing this person for quite some time. I feel like for some of you, you might already be in a relationship when this person comes back in and there is a choice, a decision that you have to make here. Do I stay with the person that I'm with, or do I give this another try, or do I give this opportunity a chance to flourish? And then I also feel for many of you, especially if you are like single and dating, there are so many dreamy choices and options that are kind of laid out in front of you here with the Seven of Cups, which denotes to me a lot of options, a lot of choices. All of them are actually pretty good, and you have like really strong physical attraction and an emotional attraction to these options and these choices. And then I also feel there is a potential here to really meet somebody that will, you know, dot all the I's and check all the T's and, you know, meet all the requirement in your checklist. Okay. I feel like you have a fated meeting here. It's really strong soulmate connection here that you have with another person. So for example, if you have been, you know, living with a person and you're just like, we're going to get married, and then for whatever reason it didn't happen and you moved away from it and now you're feeling a little bit jaded, I do sense that you're going to meet somebody that will give you the whole 9 yards, that will want to settle down, will want to get married, and they'll want to restore your faith in love and commitment. Okay. If you have been kind of like burned and jaded and you're just like, I'm focusing on myself. I'm going to work and take care of myself. I'm going to buy myself the nice things. I don't need another person to take care of me. And you've kind of been in this space where you're blocking your heart. Okay, the high priestess is very loving, but she's very detached and she can be a little bit cold. And so if you've been kind of like this, where you're protecting yourself, you're not letting people in to hurt you, I feel like you're going to meet a kindred soulmate that will really restore your faith in humanity, and also will really teach you a lot more about love and to kind of make you believe in it again. Okay. So this is a very, very good month I'm feeling for relationships, and especially towards the end of the month with the new relationships coming into the picture. I just want you to know as well that the other thing I feel like we need to be a little bit careful about, okay? Um, Aries, you are a fire sign. And so with you, it's not about what you say, it's about what you do. Okay. Fire is all about action, and you're the first sign of the zodiac. So you're very, very driven by your actions. You don't sit there and talk about, you know, this is what I want for my career. This is what I want to study. This is where I want to go for vacation. You just get yourself out there and you do things. And so if you really want to be happy, find somebody who is like you. Okay? Don't listen to the things that they say. Don't listen to all of their dreams and aspiration. Look at the evidence and look at what they're doing for themselves. You know, for example, they might talk about, you know, wanting to save up money and vacation in Italy or somewhere exotic. Italy, Greece, I don't know, wherever. And then, you know, they talk about it for years and years and years, and it just never happens. I feel like I'm hearing you're too old for that. Okay, not that I think you're old, but I feel like life is slipping us by. So while the other person is there making all of these plans, all of these pipe dreams, they're not really making anything happen in the real world. So if you want to be happy, if you want a relationship partner that is a lot like you, if you want somebody that you can travel with, experience life with, and be alongside you, find somebody who is a doer rather than a talker. Okay? So find somebody who is energetically on your same wavelength so that they can do the things with you that you want to do, rather than just talking alongside you about all the things that they want to do, and then you end up feeling very disappointed because you're progressing in life and you're leaving them in the dust. Okay. And then I also feel for many of you, there are so many things that you want to do, so many things you want to see, so many vacations you want to take, so many new sights and sounds and locations, and just so many things that you want to see in your world. And you're at a space right now where you have a lot of financial resources. Things like those pentacles are really piling up. You have a lot of stability relatively in your life right now. It is time for you to get out there and make these dreams happen. Take that trip, go on that vacation, see the world. So I feel like you want movement. You want momentum in your life. You're craving it. And with the Hangman, life is right here. Life is in stagnation. So whatever it is that you need to do, don't wait on it anymore. Use the solar return kind of like as a jetpack to get you where you need to be, to make your dreams happen, to kind of like live life and grab life by the horns rather than just, you know, sitting on the sidelines of life wondering what if. And I feel like, you know, generally you guys are very, very adventurous. But I feel like when it comes to traveling, when it comes to movement, you want somebody by your side. You want another person to share the experience with. You want a person to travel with because, there's relatively safety in numbers. And I feel like, maybe find that one, maybe make some plans with friends, with family members, just make it happen because life is really pushing you to experience more, to get out more, and to, um, manifest and bring your dreams to fruition.